Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. As we're getting a bit more sun, I wanted to kind of look at a brand that has just launched at Space NK in the UK. It is the brand Westman Atelier. I haven't done a Westman Atelier video in a while and I realised that it has been a hot minute. What I wanted to do was show you some of the pieces that I've collected over the last sort of few months and weeks and haven't had time to film. So they launch these liquid Superloaded. They come in 3 colours and they're called liquid Superloaded, and there is 30 ml of product in each one and they all kind of serve different purposes. I've taken off my foundation. I wanted to show you kind of how I would use this on a kind of normal day-to-day basis. The first one I'm going to show you is the colour Mer The Reparative, and I was told that this is kind of giving a kind of bronzing effect. I'm curious to try this on because I didn't want to try it with foundation on because I wanted to see kind of what it would do to bare skin. We're going to try this one first. I'm really intrigued. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. I haven't even opened this yet, so we're opening this together. You get the Westman Atelier heart inside. It's really beautiful, the packaging. So I'm going to show you that first. So this is what it looks like, and then you can see the heart there. It's really, really lovely. What I wanted to do was kind of use this as like a bronzer on my face to give my face a little bit of colour. I'm going to put a couple of drops on my hand. I did shake this, but I am going to shake it again just to see whether I've made an error and just put it on straight away. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, you do have to shake it first because it does go a little bit sort of watery, as you can see from the texture there. Bit messy, but I kind of want to show you how I would use it. So I'm going to take the product and I'm just going to put it on my face all over as a kind of illuminator and a kind of, I suppose, a way of kind of making my face look nice and sort of glowy and tanned, and just give my face that little bit of colour. So you can see already that it's creating a lovely bit of colour to my face. It's interesting, this, because it's not something that I would normally gravitate towards during the winter. It's something I would use more during the summertime, but it feels really nice. There is a light fragrance to it. It smells of like sweets. Hard to describe, but basically it's a pleasant smell. And then as you put it on, it kind of dissipates. So I had to kind of put it on my hand, but you can see that it's given me a really lovely glow. And this is kind of what I would do if I didn't want a day of like full makeup and I kind of wanted my skin to look really kind of glowy, I suppose. It's given me a kind of illuminating effect. So I wanted to show you how I would use this on the go. So that's how I would use that shade. I've got 2 more shades I want to show you. So it also comes in Per de Rose and Per de Peche. So what you want to give it is a good shake, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand. And this is more like a highlighter shade. I've got a little bit of the colour here. As you can see, I'm glowing from the high heavens. I would normally just take the product and I would put it on the areas where I wanted a bit of highlight. So as you can see, I'm glowing already, but you can see that it adds like a highlighting effect to the skin. I love products like this because they are minimal but give you a really lovely glowy kind of finish. Sometimes I even would put a little bit on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on the tip of my nose. I mean, this is the kind of thing I would use as a highlighter. It's very, very light. And this one also has that similar smell to it. It's not an offensive smell. It's really nice actually. But you can see what it's done to my skin and it's made it really glowy. That's just like 2 sort of layers with 2 different illuminating shades. Finally, we are on Per de Peche. You can see at the bottom that it shows you what the colour is like. Again, the beautiful, beautiful Westman Atelier packaging. I never get bored of this brand because I think it's such a gorgeous brand. It's not pink, but I'm just going to blend the colour out. It's kind of like peachy. It's kind of light. So I'm interested to see how I'm going to use this because I might just use it as a kind of blush and just dab it on my cheeks there. I am going to read into this because sometimes reading into a product too much also kind of puts you off how you're going to use it. So I thought, let's just play around and see how this works. This one doesn't have a hell of a lot of colour either, but again, it gives you this lovely kind of glow. So I think it's similar to the previous shade. So what it's done, it's just given me this really, really gorgeous kind of glow to my skin. Like I said, I don't have any foundation on at all, but I really love the way that it looks on my skin. Now, I guess your first question might be, is this too oily? Now, I have combination skin, so this is really quite interesting because I'm interested to see how this sort of looks as I wear it throughout the day. I'm actually not going out today, so what I will do is leave in my comments section when I do wear it how it's fared throughout the day. That's how it looks at the moment, and my skin looks very, very nice and glowy. Supercharged complexion enhancer with long-term benefits and an instant ethereal glow. Well, you can definitely see the glow happening here. The quickest way to get compliments on your skin, this lightweight sheer complexion enhancer adds life to your skin in an instant. This definitely proves the point. Multi-dimensional pearls reflect light for a you look well glow, while letting true skin show through for a uniquely real finish. A concentrated blend of vitamin C, antioxidants and nourishing oils re-texturize, even tone and brighten skin over time. Wear on its own, layer under foundation, or tap onto the high points for a quick touch up. No silicons, no parabens, no pegs, no talc, no phthalates, no animal testing. The cool oyster pink of PEAU de Rose brightens and lifts her skin, while the nudie peach of PEAU de PECHE naturally corrects and evens the tone. PEAU de Soleil is a little different. It's a shot of the best sun-kissed warmth on the planet, like you've just had a week in Greece. Finish by adding a touch of product to the eyelids and Cupid's bow. So I did a little bit with the Cupid's bow, but you can use the Soleil one, which was the darker shade, on the eyelids as well. There are 3 shades. PEAU de PECHE is a warm nudie peach, PEAU de Rose is a cool oyster pink, and PEAU de Soleil is a golden hour bronze. So I really like the flexibility of how to use these, and obviously I use all 3, but you don't necessarily need to do that. So I think this should show my skin and just how much it makes my skin look like glowy, and that I'm having a really good skin day. They recently launched 2 blushes, and I picked these up through Space & K, who I think had exclusivity for some peculiar reason. One is like a pinky fresh kind of tone, and the other one is a bit more deeper. I wanted to show you them on both sides of my cheek. This is the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Blush Stick. I have reviewed these before and I love these. What was so great about this as well, I actually got a little small version of it in the colour Petal. I can't remember if I reviewed it before, but I will definitely review it in another video. But for today, I'm going to focus on the 2 new launches, which is Coquette and Gaconne, and I'm going to show you these on my cheeks. These are beautiful and they're really easy to carry around and are like a breath of fresh air. And what I love about Westman Atelier products is they're so clean, they're so kind of natural. It's sort of like a better version of you without being too much. It's an everyday kind of makeup, good skin day, which I know everybody is sort of striving to get now. We'll start off with the first one, which is called Coquette, and I'm going to put that on first. And when I first saw this, I did think that it might be too light for my skin tone. I tried it on and actually it's giving me like a brightening effect to my skin. It comes in the Westman Atelier packaging. You're paying for the packaging because the weight of this is really good and it feels very sort of expensive and feels like you've spent your money in a good way, because you do have to pay a fair bit for each of these. They are worth it. I mean, they're beautiful and the shades are stunning. So this is Coquette. I'll show you this first. I'm just going to unwind it for you now. It's a beautiful sort of refreshing pink shade. I'm going to swatch it for you too, and I'll put that on my hand for you now. So this is Coquette, and you can see that it's a really uplifting kind of colour. So I'm going to put it on one side and then I'll show you how it looks. So with Westman Atelier products, I really like to use my fingers. I always find that because it's a cream, I like to just blend with my fingers. So I'll take the product and I'm going to put it on the parts of where I think just need sort of brightening. I'm just taking the product and just putting it in the area where I'd like it to brighten up my cheeks. What it does, it just gives a little bit of like a pinky kind of look to it. I'll do this side too. It just gives it a lovely kind of just woken up kind of colour. Just taking it and dabbing it like that there. So you can see the colour on the left here of Coquette. It is a kind of uplifting colour. I would say it's more like a spring-like colour than some of the other shades that they do. But I thought it would be nice to have something a little bit different. And I think this shade is limited edition alongside the other one that I'm going to show you as well. What I like to do is just put it on the apples of my cheek. And then just take the shade. That's it really, and just let it pop. And just let it look very fresh. So you can see how it compares. This side looks a lot more fresh than this side. It's just a pink shade which is lighting everything up on this side of my face. So let's move on to the other shade. This is Gaconne, and Gaconne is definitely more of an easier shade to wear than Coquette on my skin tone, I think, because it's a lot more deeper. So this is Gaconne. This is what Gaconne looks like. Then you've got the tip there. I'll just do a quick hand swatch of Gaconne for you, which is a bit deeper in tone. But you can see how it's sort of lightened this part of my cheeks and given it more of a kind of healthy glow. So now we're going to move into the other shade. So this is Coquette, and we're going to look at Gaconne now. So I'm just tapping it into my cheek area. I think Gaconne is a lot more easier on my skin tone to wear. So I'm just using a different method, which is using my finger to go into the product and dab it with my finger. But you can see that they're very different in terms of how they look on my skin. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of that and I'm going to put a little bit on my eyelid on this side because I think it makes a really good eye colour, Gaconne. And you can build, which is lovely with this, and just wanted to kind of show you how it looks. With the other shade, I'm just going to take that shade with my finger and do exactly what I did with that one. And you can see how it's actually more uplifting on the eyelid with this shade. That's a bit more of a deeper one. So this is definitely more like a summery look, and this is more of a kind of evening look. So I just wanted to show you each side. It looks a bit funny, but it's more to kind of demonstrate how they both look. I've put that all over my eyelid on this one, which is very, very nice. So you can see how they both compare. So this side is Gaconne and this side is Coquette with the two limited edition shades. And what I'm going to do is I might add some concealer because I'm having a bit of a tired day today. So I'm going to add some concealer under my eye, brighten that up a little bit, and we'll come back to this. So what I've gone and done is basically added some concealer to the rest of my face. I do this sometimes when I don't want to use foundation. So what I've done is just done sort of pinpoints of where I feel like I need concealer, and I've done that so that the face looks a little bit more alive. And I've used the Dior concealer in 3N, and I've just gone under my eyes because I've had a long night. I didn't sleep very well. I haven't been sleeping too well. So I'm literally taking that and kind of working with that and just dabbing it. We'll go back to the blushes, and what I'm going to do is this now on top of what I've got on, and I've got a better idea of kind of how I'm going to do this. So I've added this shade, which is Gaconne, and I'm going to take a little bit more of Gaconne, and I quite like this as a kind of eye colour. Seems to work really well. So again, I'm taking the product and dabbing it where I need the blush to go. So literally, if you cut my face in half, this side is kind of like an evening kind of look, and then this side is more like a day refreshing kind of look. I'm now going to add a little bit more of the other shade. This is the Coquette shade, and I'm using my ring finger and I'm just going to go onto my eyelids again and add that as a overall eye colour first. And then I'm going to take that same shade and then just dab it on my cheeks. So I think I might use the applicator on this one. You can really play around with this and get it to the intensity that you want it. But I like the fact that you can kind of use it as a, well, I do anyway, as an eyeshadow with the blush to kind of complement it. I hope that's given you an idea. Evening and then day. So what I'm going to do now is just add a little bit of mascara. We're going to go into Augustinus Bader now. I haven't really spoken about this brand, and I have used this Rich Cream by Augustinus Bader before, but I haven't done a review and told you about how I felt about it. So I'll let you know how I've been getting on with that. It's the only product that I've used from the brand. I seem to get it a lot when I get the advent calendar, or I think I've got like at least a bottle's worth. This is the collab that's recently been done with Sofia Coppola. Sofia Coppola directed Lost in Translation, The Beguiled, I think, as well, and it's a new Priscilla movie that came out. It was Elvis and it was about Priscilla's life, and she directed that as well. So she's been involved with a lot of directing and she's well known within the film industry. It's quite interesting that they've collabed together. This is called Le Balm Tinted. It comes in 4 grams of product and it comes in 3 different shades. Now they retail for £33 each in the UK, and I got 3 shades. I got shade 1, shade 2 and shade 3. I actually went to Liberty and they were sold out. I ended up buying these at good old Space & K again. Space & K have been so good. They've been so well stocked compared to other places, and I'm very, very impressed. So we'll start off with the first shade. This is vegan, sulfate free and silicone free as well, and once it's opened it lasts for 6 months. So you probably know that Augustinus Bader has this sort of aesthetic, which is the blue with the gold and the pink, and I really love this collab. I love the way that this looks. I haven't opened this yet. This is the first time we're opening this together, and it's got this sort of balm-like texture to it, and I do like a good balm, especially during the summer months. So it does say on the packaging that it's in collaboration with Sofia Coppola. I just wanted to see if there was any SPF in here because it doesn't mention it on the box at all. What we're going to do is I'll quickly do a hand swatch for you. So that's what the balm looks like. So you can see that it's not like really, really strong. I'm also really excited about these because Lisa Eldridge has just launched some balms and I've bought like all 5 shades. So as soon as they arrive, I will film that. So oh, that's very, very nice. I love the shade. Yeah, it's really lovely on my lips. It feels very moisturizing. I love the fact that it's a balm, but yeah, you get this lovely kind of pigmentation to the balm, even though it's a balm. Because sometimes you get balms and they don't really look that much different from each other. So let me know what you think. This is shade 3 and it's got the ingredients that is in his cream and everything else that they do. This is shade 3. So I thought it'd be good to show you the 3 shades of the liquid Superloaded colours as swatches. As you can see, they're quite watery, so you can't really see the colours come through. So that is Peur de Soleil, Peur de Pêche and Peur de Rose. So you can see that they are all quite different. So since I have the product on my hand, I'm just going to take the excess and just blend it out. So I'm taking the first 2 shades and just putting it in the areas where I feel like I just want to add a little bit more of that glow. And then I'm going to take the 2 lighter shades and just pat it on top of my cheeks. It does have like an oily texture, so I think if you're oily skin, this may feel too oily on you, but because I'm combination, I don't mind so much. But I think if you're very oily, this is probably going to feel a bit too much. Just going back in with that, just to show you how I would use it. It. So that is number 3. We're now going to try number 2 and then number 1. So we're going to go backwards. We're now looking at shade 2. Shade 2 is this more kind of reddish colour. I'm really excited about this one. This is shade 2. Such gorgeous packaging. It's kind of like metal. This, it feels quite substantial. Just doing a quick hand swatch of shade 2 for you. Okay, so let's look at the next shade, which is shade 2. It's gorgeous again. So that's a lovely shade. This is shade 2. It's really interesting. The smell is not the greatest. I think it smells a bit like Vaseline. So I'm not sure if I'm that keen on the smell, but I just thought I'd let you know that's what it smells like. Okay, so we're finally moving on to shade 1, and this one is, again, a kind of like reddish shade. This is number 2, which is more like a true red. This one's more of a pink shade, number 1. So this is shade 1. Just going to do a quick hand swatch for you now of shade 1. Okay, so let's try on shade 1 together now. Still has that balmy texture. It's a nice shade. That's lovely. This is shade 1. Okay, so this is the full look with all the different illuminating colours that I use from Westman Atelier. Also, I applied the Coquette on this side just to balance it out a little bit. I really like the versatility of the Westman Atelier liquid Superloaded, because sometimes I feel like I don't want to wear foundation and I just want a day with just a little bit of a glow. I like the aspect of the PEAU de Soleil in order to give me that brown kind of bronzing effect. I recently purchased the bronzing drops from Drunk Elephant, and once I've reviewed that, I will do a comparison between all of these new drops, because I also purchased the ultraviolet drops that launched as well, and I'm quite sort of interested now that I've tried these to compare all these ones that have come out and to give you my thoughts on all of them. So I will be doing that, but I really like the versatility, as I mentioned, of those, and I could use them for different things to even out the skin tone and to kind of highlight as well. The two blushes, I think the pink one, I'm beginning to like it more and more now, because at first I thought it was a little bit too ashy or too light on me, but as it's kind of absorbed into my skin and I'm looking at it on camera, it does look like it's brightening and making it look more like a kind of highlighter, which I really like. With the Gaconne, I really like that for the evening because I think it's got a lot of depth to it and something that I would wear a lot during the evening. With the 3 lip balms from Augustinus BadarXSofia and the collab with Sofia Coppola, I think the 3 shades are really, really lovely. I love the texture, feels really nice. I think my only gripe, had I known, I don't know whether I would have purchased all 3, is that there is a kind of smell to it that is a bit like Vaseline. Now, I used to use Vaseline as a child, but I don't know if I like the smell so much on my lips. It dissipates after a while, but I was a little bit disappointed that it had that fragrance. Now, that may be because it has a lot of things that are free from and it's a clean kind of product, and I'm not sure, or whether it's because it's got that ingredient that Augustinus BadarXSofia has in his formula that's made that kind of smell come out. But I didn't recognise that smell when I used his collab with Victoria Beckham, and I had her primer that I used as well. Incidentally, I will be using as a comparison as well with all of these sort of drops, because that is a similar sort of thing as well. I like the shades. I'm very excited to compare these to the new Lisa Eldridge ones, this Embrace that she's just about to launch, and maybe even Glossier, because Glossier have balms as well. To sum it up, I really love the fact that this is kind of very skin friendly and gives my skin a lovely glow, and even when I take photographs I can see my skin glowing, and I don't have any foundation on, which is really impressive. The blushes are a really nice addition to their collection. I think I enjoy the other colours a little bit more that I've reviewed in the past, but it doesn't mean that I don't like these. I still think they're a nice addition, and I like the depth of Gaconne and I like the brightness of Coquette. I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to leave your comments. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.